Frankly, as I look back and think about how we've moved through and adapted in 2020, Lenovo was increasingly all in with our partners, and that philosophy will continue guiding our strategy through the rest of this year and beyond.
Hi everyone, I'm Jennifer Zarate with CRNtv, joined by Lenovo's Wendy, Welch, and Stacey Goodman to learn how they're helping partners move forward in innovative ways. Thank you for joining me today, Wendy and Stacey.
Jennifer, it's great to see you again this year.
Hi Jennifer, good to see you as well, thank you.
Well, it's great to have you both on. How have you increased collaboration with partners over the last 7 months as we look at pre-COVID to being in the midst of a global pandemic to now looking ahead at a post-COVID environment?
Jennifer, this is a great question and a foundation that Lenovo had already laid over the last year with our channel transformation initiatives. And I completed some key events with the VAR channel account managers and our distribution AEs and teams just before shelter in place arrived at our borders. So the in-person relationships and events we had completed and the deeper education the CAMs had received on the full breadth and depth and functionality that distribution could bring to the VAR partners has enabled us to be more agile throughout the last 7 months of being remote and virtual with our partners.
And as we're talking about increased collaboration with different partner types, what can you tell us about this triangle approach to your relationships with partners?
The way that we're enabling our partners today, we're relying heavily on distribution for a lot of that heavy lifting in what we call the long tail space. And in our tiering world, this is our authorized and silver partners. And so, the way that we are reaching out to them and growing our base, this is hand in hand with our distributors, and this plays to the strengths that each one of them bring to the table and how they're working with what I would say is a very high touch model with these partners, enabling them to work opportunities and have the access to teams that they may not have previously had access to, now that we're coming together in new ways and bringing, like you said, this triangle together.
How about the challenges you've been faced with? How have you adapted to those challenges while working alongside partners?
Work from home doesn't necessarily mean a mobility persona, for example. So ensuring that we were really still taking the time to understand the need and ask the appropriate questions to fulfill that initial pandemic-related need based on availability was an important piece for us to stay very tightly connected with partners. As we move forward and we look at reopening, it's getting much more into some of the emerging solutions and how Lenovo can work with our incubation products and our OEM capability and tie that into the strength of several partners around no-touch solutions or health checks and what we're doing in healthcare with virtual rounding and virtual care. It has accelerated, in my opinion, our innovation and those new solutions that we're bringing both to the marketplace, but more importantly, enabling our channel partners to take forward for us.
And I'll just add to that, like Wendy said, I like the phrase, in chaos comes opportunity. And so I think we're enabling our partners and our sellers to continue with that. I think fundamentally at our core, innovation is everything that we do. And so we're going to continue to, find ways to adapt to the market. And, as Wendy pointed out, we've got teams that are working on incubation solutions and bringing together the right parties, with Lenovo and our partners, whether it's Intel, Microsoft, AMD, and really finding ways that we can, come to market together and provide the right solutions as we adapt to how things are changing and, what may become, a new normal.
Organizations are really thinking about how they can enable business continuity through these uncertain times, and that really includes the remote workforce and supporting that remote workforce. And also at Microserve, together with Lenovo, we do a lot of work supporting higher education institutions. So a lot of thought and consideration into having really effective distance learning. So through that, there's been demand, again, for those technologies that support remote learners, remote workers, or remote educators, such as the laptops and the tablets, any sort of collaboration tools, things coming in from Microsoft, which partners really well with Lenovo, such as Microsoft Teams and their whole modern workplace suite. And one of the ways that Lenovo has really helped us with that is they've focused their manufacturing and their stocking to make sure that we have better access to things like tablets and laptops when there's been a lot of demand, so we can get those devices out to people quickly.